All right. We are live. How are you, Ruth?
I am well. Thank you. How are you?
I am well, choosing to be well on this Thursday. We have made it just about through another week, and I'm excited about that.
God is good all the time.
All the time. Now you're talking. By grace, usually people say, "How are you?" I say, "By grace, I'm well." Truly, by grace, I am well. I'm excited that you're here today because I know full well, you and I have had a couple conversations, and I know full well that people are going to get some really valuable information. So for those of you who are watching, please hashtag live for us so that we know you are here and can acknowledge you. When you catch this on the replay, please hashtag replay so we can catch you there too. If you're watching Transcend with Bootstrap Dreams for the first time, this is a live stream, a casual conversation, totally unscripted talk where we encourage one another and share our stories to be a demonstration about what it means to overcome life's disappointments, right? There is life beyond what happened, whatever it is, okay? Your it may be different. My it may be different, yet we know what disappointment feels like, and we know that we can choose to live beyond it. And so that is the essence of Transcend with Bootstrap Dreams. Sometimes our guests are entrepreneurs like today. Other times our guests are not entrepreneurs, but everyday people who still have a story, right? And so you know anybody that is looking to share their story, this is a wonderful place for them to do that. Feel free to message me. Today, though, we are going to be talking to Ruth L. Snyder about 3 reasons why you should aim to write your book to build your business. I know there are some entrepreneurs out there. You're watching, you're tuning in. You have some entrepreneur friends. Tag them, share this with them so they can get these gems that Ruth is about to drop on us tonight, right? Not only tell your story, but grow your business with it. Multiple streams of income, have a dragnet. I'm excited, Ruth. I'm excited.
Woohoo!
Exactly. And I just thank you so much, Ruth, for being here with us tonight. Please give your introduction, and then we'll jump into our one question that I ask every guest that's on the show. And then we're going to go into the conversation. So, Ruth, tell us about you.
Well, thanks, Tawana, for allowing me to be here tonight and for allowing me to share my story.
You are welcome.
It's so important for stories to be shared, isn't it? And we can learn and grow from each other.
Yes.
So my name is Ruth L. Snyder, and I live in northeastern Alberta in the province of Alberta, and near a small town named Bonnyville. And I live in the country where we have deer walking through our yard quite regularly.
Nice.
One peeked in this morning.
I love that. You know, I'm a country girl, so country girl in the city.
But I really enjoy helping people write, publish, and profit from their books, and specifically coaches, because as coaches, we help other people. This is my son, Levi, who has come to say hello.
Hi, Levi. Thanks for joining us.
And yes, I am the mother of 5 children. My oldest is now married, and I have 1 grandson already. So yeah, I enjoy helping other people write and publish their books and profit from them, grow their business.
That is exciting. So as we talk about that, right? Well, no, the question. See, I told you I was hoping not to forget it. Ruth, when you hear Transcend, he's okay. When you hear Transcend, what comes to mind?
So to me, Transcend means being victorious. We all have hard things in our lives, and we all have challenges.
Yes.
And we can either let those hard times conquer us, or we can transcend. We can be victorious. And I have kind of a funny story from yesterday. I took my son to 3 hours away for an assessment, and I had a break, and I decided to get myself a smoothie. So I got a smoothie, and I had 1 cup full that they put a cover on, and then they offered me the rest that was in the blender, which was half a cup.
Right.
And you know how things just happen sometimes? Well, guess what happened? That half cup of smoothie went all over me, like literally down my shirt all the way to my pants.
No way.
And it was awful. I mean, cold, sticky, gooey mess. And I was in a food court surrounded by other people and no napkins. I had 1 Kleenex in my pocket.
Oh my goodness.
And for a split second, I was just like, this is awful. Like,
Right.
this is going to wreck the rest of my day.
Right.
And then I thought, why? You know, this is silly. It's just smoothie over my shirt.
Right. Small matters in the grand scheme.
Bathroom, and I cleaned up, and then I went to one of the stores and I bought a new outfit for $23. And I walked out feeling like a queen.
That's
so
right.
There you go. You know, it doesn't matter what happens. You can be victorious.
Absolutely. I love that you shared that, because it's like sometimes we let the minimalistic things take us over the top, but usually it's not that thing was that bad. It was the last straw, right? It was so many things had already been built underneath, and that just kind of blew the lid. And the fact that you were able, even in public, right? Because I share a lot about public humiliation and devastation. And even in public, you were like, you know what? Small matters is what this is. Small matters is what this is. I'm in a shopping area. You know what? Again, I've got a moment. I'm going to treat myself to a new outfit. And they're done. Right? we're moving on.
Problem solved.
I love that. Thank you so much for sharing that and reminding us how we have a choice in everything in life, right? We may not have chosen what happened. We may not be able to control all the dynamics within it, yet we have a choice to be better in the situation versus waiting for the situation to get better. That's awesome. That is awesome. So let's talk about your journey as an author and the successes you've had. You know, your clients are getting successes, and just how you even got on the journey, not just to write and publish, you know, your stories, but why you felt it was so important to help other people do the same.
Okay, so I've enjoyed reading and writing for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
I actually learned how to read and write when I lived in Africa.
Oh,
my parents were missionaries there.
Nice.
And this was in the late 60s when there was no internet and phone calls were few and far between. So snail mail letters were the only way that I got to know my family in the United States and Canada. And then I actually ended up going away to school when I was 9, 500 miles from my parents. I had 3 siblings with me, but we were 500 miles away, and letters again were the only way to communicate. And so I very quickly learned how to describe what was going on and how to share what was happening in my life. But I didn't really take my skill seriously until after I was married and we adopted children with special needs, and I felt like their story needed to be shared. And God kind of, he showed me this contest that was available for across Canada. And so I entered it, and I wrote about our journey through infertility and into adoption and the world of special needs. And I kind of sent it away as, you know, okay, God, you've been bugging me to write. I wrote, I did my duty now, leave me alone. And I ended up winning first place in that contest. And the prize was a writing conference in Ontario, which is a 4-hour flight. Walked into this writing conference where other people were published and had books, and who am I to be here? I mean, we all struggle with that, right? Who am I? And yet God calls us because he sees not where we are, but where we are going to be. And through that, I was able to start honing my skills, building relationships, getting published, starting with short pieces like devotionals and articles and short stories, and then working the way up to books. And actually, books intimidated me at first because I thought, I don't have that much to say. But God said, you can write one word, right? Well, yeah. And
Right.
so books are made of chapters. Chapters are made of paragraphs. Paragraphs are made of sentences, and sentences are made one word at a
One
time.
word at a time. Oh, that is so rich. That is so rich. Oh, wow. Such a wonderful story, not just a story, a choice, right? A lifestyle. And I've got a heart on mine right now that I know. And I'm always in your DMs like, Ruth, I got an introduction for you. And so I've got a heart on mine right now that I'm going to send you a follow-up message, and I'm going to touch them first, see if they're okay, and then make the connection, because you shared some things tonight that today they're just now downloading, and I think it's going to be a benefit. I think mutually it's going to be a benefit. So I appreciate that. For those of you who are there live, we want to acknowledge you. Hi, Ayana. Hi, Jill. Hi, Jasmine. Let me see who else is here. Thank you so much for joining. Make sure to hashtag live. Make sure to hashtag replay. Do add comments and ask your questions while we have Ruth on the talk tonight. So, all right. So you started writing as a young girl, and letter sending, and like you said, one word, one sentence, one paragraph, one chapter at a time. What put that into motion pertaining to entrepreneurship?
So I wrote my own books, and I did some books with other people. I worked with a traditional publisher for a while, and I enjoyed several of those projects, but I was frustrated with some of the lack of control. I wasn't always able to choose the cover design that I liked. I wasn't always able to market the way I wanted to.
Okay.
So those things kind of frustrated me. And so I decided to learn how to self-publish my books.
Mm.
I did. I took courses and interacted with other people that were on the same journey.
Uh-huh.
And then when my friends, my author friends, heard that I was able to publish my own books, they're like, well, what about me?
Right.
Can you help me? And
Right.
so that was how I got pulled into doing that for other people. And then I took some coaching training as well, because I wanted to be doing things that were helpful for people.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
so I put the two loves together, my writing and publishing and my coaching. So
That's right. That's right. Because that's what education is in a sense, right? We are teaching them something specific, yet we're encouraging them to do it. We're showing them the way, but we're leaving them the autonomy to make the informed decisions. And so I appreciate that you decided to put you formalized it a bit so that you could be most effective to the recipient. Right. That is intentional. I love that. Now, what about some common misconceptions, right? Because I hear self-published. You, along with some other people I know who have self-published, but then there's some other people that are like, there's no way I could do it. It's just too hard, or it's going to cost too much, or it's going to, all these different things. And currently I've been blessed to be in the experience where I'm working with a publishing company, right, for somebody else's book journey. And to see the two dynamics has been really, really interesting, fun, right. Interesting. And so what are some common misconceptions that you can share with us about self-publishing for anyone that's been procrastinating about getting it done because they don't think they can do it themselves, and they don't think, they're like, I can't afford to go with a publisher, but I can't do it myself. Let's go ahead and break that barrier down and inform them why they can. So what do people think? What are the misconceptions first?
Well, I think one of the misconceptions is that it's too onerous and I'll never be able to do it myself. So yes, when you don't know what to do, it is onerous. It is overwhelming. And that's why sometimes it is helpful to have somebody that walked through the journey with before, kind of lead you through the steps. And I think we often make the mistake when something's new to us, we just get overwhelmed instead of, like I said, with writing a book was overwhelming for me,
Mm-hmm.
but breaking it down into small, achievable steps. And so one of the things that I help my clients with is I show them how they can actually get a book written in 30 days.
What?
Well, but it is possible. And I even have rest days in there. So
Oh, you are my kind of listen. And this is why you and I, right? Put that contingency in. We are not machines. We are human, right? Give
we are
yourself some time to reset. Writing your own book in 30 days. I know one person who has done that. I'm going to shout you out, Naja Maldonado, right? She wrote her
yay.
book. Yes, she wrote her book in like 30 days. And so I know it's possible. She's busy. She's a multi-passionate person. She is a mom of many. Like, you can do what you want to do when you want to do it, right? We gotta believe, and we gotta start being a practitioner of that thing. And we talked about
Right.
that, in the Facebook group on Tuesday. So let's talk. So we got a couple of questions already. You mind addressing some questions?
No, go ahead.
Awesome. Let me get this. So Ayana has asked, how do you overcome writer's block? This is good.
All right. So different people have different opinions about this.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to go back a little bit and say that some people are what we call plotters.
Mm-hmm.
So they plan,
Yeah.
and other people are pantsers. And then I was introduced to somebody the other day who said she was a plantser. So I'm more of a plotter. And
Mm-hmm.
so what works for me with overcoming writer's block is having an outline in front of me.
Okay.
And the reason that helps me is because I know a general idea of what I want to have on each page or each
Mm-hmm.
chapter.
Mm-hmm.
And that way, maybe I'm getting writing block about one particular section of the book, but I can
Mm-hmm.
always jump to another section and
Okay.
write about that, and then come
Mm-hmm.
back to the section after I've done some writing. I think a lot of times writer's block happens when there's a blank screen or a blank page in front of us. And
Mm-hmm.
so for me, having that outline is what helps me.
Oh, that's so good. Having an outline, right? A roadmap, as I like to call plans,
Mhm.
or roadmaps. They're not guarantees, not necessarily going to be the straightest path possible. We want
Right.
that, but that doesn't always happen. And it's okay to find another way. If you have to pause, if you have to take a detour, like it's okay, especially in this journey. It's not going to all be succinct, right?
Yeah.
When you're starting it. Thank you for sharing that. There's another question. Ayana has asked, was it easy to discover your voice or style as a writer?
Mm.
Come on, Ayana, with the good questions.
Yes, really good question. And I think sometimes we sweat too much over these questions. I mean, we hear
Mm-hmm.
that every writer has a voice, and we're like, okay, well, tell me what mine is so that I can do it well. I would say the best way to discover your voice is to try writing in multiple genres, just short pieces, and see what works best for you. And try writing in different styles. Some people are better at long, flowery descriptions. Other people are better when it's a short, direct information. Um, Basically, the best way to find your voice is to try different things and
Uh-huh.
then listen to the feedback that you get, because other
Yeah.
people will tell you when they feel like you're being really authentic.
Yeah. That's awesome. Okay. Let's see. Make sure I'm not overlooking any other questions here. All right. So we've talked about some misconceptions of self-publishing. You've talked about plotters versus planters. We talked about having an outline, overcoming writer's block by having an outline, and discovering your voice by writing in different styles. What else can we know about, writing a book? I know you've got AIM, your acronym. So tell us about that. Why should we aim to write our books to grow our businesses?
That's a really good question. So one thing that I would criticize a lot of self-published authors about is that we don't do our homework properly before we
Mm.
start writing. When you are traditionally published, you have to do market research. You have to know your unique contribution. You have to know how you're going to market your book.
Mhm.
You
Mhm.
should do all of that, even if you are being self-published.
Yeah.
So you should know who your audience is.
Mhm.
That's the A
Mhm.
for AIM.
Ah.
Be specific. Is it somebody who's at home raising kids? Is it a single person? Are they retired? Are they middle-aged? Are they a youth?
Mhm.
Because, I mean, we all know that different groups use different vocabulary. They use different sentence structures. They relate to different illustrations.
Mhm.
So knowing who you're writing to is really important.
It is. It is. And when you talk about that market research, right? Do your homework before you start writing, right? I know there's a thing like messy action. Just get out there. Okay, we get it, right? We don't
Yeah.
want to have paralysis by analysis. However, before you go to publish the book, make sure the book is speaking to who you want to be a recipient of it, right? And so
Mhm.
simply having conversations, I share with people, have good-hearted conversations. Call up people you know. Don't be afraid to spark conversations with people that you don't know so that you
Mhm.
can grow and increase in perspective, right?
Right.
Don't be afraid to share your idea. If you feel like it's all that sacred, that's what NDAs are for, non-disclosures, right? Ask them if they'll sign it before you start talking, right? But get yourself out there, get your idea out there so that you can really strengthen your concept, right? So that way when you write, your efforts are going towards something and not
Mhm.
just practice that, maybe you won't publish.
Right.
Okay. What else?
So the I stands for who I am and what I bring to the table. You need to be really clear on what unique experiences and what help you're bringing, because most books, at least for coaches and entrepreneurs, solve
Mhm.
problems.
Mhm.
And what makes you the expert? What experience do you have? What training do you have? What Why should people listen to you?
Mhm.
So you need to be really clear on who you are and what you are bringing to your book so that you can share that effectively.
Nice. Let's see. We've got a couple questions here. I'm going to put it up. It says, "Do you have a list of Sitetopost writings before doing a book?" Or I guess a list of
Oh,
websites.
places where you can post your writing. I don't have a list. I think it would be different for everybody. One thing you can do is start a blog, and you can either contribute to somebody else's blog, like on Medium, or um, join a writing group. Uh, Inscribed Christian Writers Fellowship here in Canada has a
Mhm.
blog that members can contribute to. And that way it gives you an opportunity to get feedback and
Mhm.
find out what topics are resonating with people that are reading what you're writing. So blog posts can be really powerful.
Mhm.
Um, you practice writing on Facebook all the time,
Right?
right?
All the time. All the time, whether you're creating content or contributing to someone else's post, right? There's a form to it, even in the DMs, being able to converse with people to an extent, and sometimes I say at length. I
Mhm.
have my mom was amazed when I was with her over the holidays, particularly, and she's still grasping her head around this whole, full-time entrepreneurship journey, particularly as a single mom, right? She's
Right.
like, how do you do this? But as we're cooking in the kitchen and I'm responding to messages and we're stirring up stuff and I'm responding to messages. She was like, "You've been on that message for a long time." And I was like, "Oh, because this is a full conversation that's happening right here." She was like, "I don't understand." I was like, "Well, this would be like me being on the phone with them, but instead I'm in the direct message. But the questions that I'm asking prompt them to provide a really introspective response so that
Right.
we can see if we share synergy to become, a coach-client relationship. Like, it's got to make sense. I tell people, before you ever spend money with me, we're going to talk. We're going to talk first. We're going to interact because it's got to make sense for the both of us. And so
Right.
she was just like, "You're writing a book," and I was like, in between the two of us, we probably could publish something. But we are always, all that to say, we are always writing, and it doesn't have to be as ornate, right, as we can make the journey. It's as simple as the things that we do in everyday practice and everyday living: text messaging, emails, like you said, blog posts, the
Another good
DMs.
way to grow your writing is to enter contests, and especially contests that give feedback, because that gives you an opportunity to try different things and get the feedback to find out where you really shine or where you need to work some more.
That's right. That's right. That is so good. Let me roll over to the comments. You hear the questions are rolling in. I'm so excited. Let's see. We had, okay. They're saying, thank you for the great ideas, great points. My mom said, I heard you.
Hi, Mom.
Right? She supports. She's great moral support. She's always tuning in when she can. She's not working or something. So we have talked about the A as in your audience, know your audience. We've talked about the I, who am I? What do I bring to the table? What is that M in AIM?
M is the marketplace. Know your market. Because did you know that there are 4 million books published in the United States every year?
What?
Yes.
4 million books.
4 million.
Wow.
It's very noisy. So if you want your book to stand out, you need to know what's already out there.
Right.
You need to know what people are still asking for. And you need to know if there's anything missing in what's already available so that you can fill that gap for people. And Amazon is a great place to do research.
Man.
You can type in any topic and books will come up, and you can use that wonderful look inside feature. You don't have to buy a bunch of books. Just use that look inside feature. Look at the outlines. Look at what topics are covered. And then one thing I hadn't thought of until a few years ago is, what about the reviews?
Yeah.
The readers tell you what they like, and the readers
tell
you what they don't like.
You are so right about that. And you can use this for anything, people, right? We're focusing and emphasizing tonight on authorship, right? Entrepreneurs and their authorship. Yet, if you are starting any new thing, whether you're making products, whether you are coming up with some kind of service, whether you are, you're publishing something online or otherwise, if you want to know what the people want, what the people need, and if your idea is not just a good idea to you and you only, Google or go on Amazon and search your idea. Put keywords in the search, right? Put them in the search and see what pops up. And don't be discouraged by all that pops up, because nothing new under the sun, right? That's a word. Right. There's nothing new under the sun, yet nobody's going to do it the way you're going to do it. Nobody's going to deliver it the way you're going to deliver it. No one is going to have the angle that you're going to have, because they would have to literally walk your entire experience in order for it to be exactly perfect, right? And so I've shared before, and I'll say it again tonight, our stories are not all entirely that unique, but they still need to be told. So when you find what seems like a lot, and people are already doing that, and people will already continue doing that, you shoot your shot, you aim, and you write your book, and you grow your business. You positively impact lives, and you make an income while doing it. There is nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. Ruth, you know how we get down. So we do have another question. Thank you all for bringing these wonderful questions. Is there a site for contests? I know. So before we talked about, did we answer this one already? I apologize. No, before we talked about a site for writings, Now we're talking about a site for contests. So is there a site or a resource for contests that you suggest?
So I am very familiar with the Canadian contests. I'm not as familiar with the contests in the US.
Okay.
In Canada, there's actually a fellow from Ontario who puts together a contest calendar every year.
Wow.
And so I can find the information for that and put it in the chat after.
That'd be great.
I believe he includes some US resources as well. But yeah, otherwise Google and find out. Sometimes people want to enter contests that are specific to the genre that they write in. And sometimes, like I said, you explore different genres. So
I'm writing something. That's awesome. So there are different contests. There are different genres. Ruth is going to share her Canada resource with us, but don't be afraid to, hey, just get out there, ask questions. If you know anybody that has written before, they may have a network of such, right? And then, of course, we got good old Google it. You know what?
Great.
Ask Alexa and Siri. Don't forget about those gals. Ask Alexa and Siri. They might be able to tell you something too. So I think that's wonderful. Oh my gosh. So we've gotten such great, I can't wait for you to go back and read the comments. They're really enjoying this conversation that we're having. And I anticipate things will continue to come in as the week progresses. Great talk tonight is what they're saying. Thank you, Ruth. Great points. Oh, thank you for these great ideas. They're loving what you're sharing. I know I am. Every time we talk, I learn something new. I'm so inspired. And again, finding reasons to be. Do you know Ruth? That's always what you're like. I think I may want to write a book. Do you know Ruth? And if they're ready, and they're serious, that's when I send them. When they're just kind of playing around, I'm like, well, we're not going to waste. We're not going to waste her time. That's what we're not going to do. But when you decide you want to meet her, you let me know. And so it's always a pleasure. Networking is wonderful. So will you please let the people know how they can find you, where they can connect with you more so that they can be inspired to take action on what you've shared tonight and or contact you to get their process started and go further than just the idea? How can we do that?
I would love to connect with you. My website is Ruth L. Snyder, and Snyder is SNYDER, just like you see on the screen. So ruthlsnyder.com is my website. I'm on Facebook and Pinterest and Instagram and LinkedIn. And I do on Facebook, I have a group where I share information. It's free. If you're just kind of dipping your toes in the water, that's a good place to hang out. It's called Entrepreneurs Write, and I'll put the link for that in the comments as well.
Please do. So you've got the website right here. She's going to have that in the chat. She's going to have the link to her Facebook group in the chat. She's always doing live trainings, exclusive trainings in her group, right? Some are available in the group. Some you may have to register for, but listen, it will not be a waste. The investment that you will get connecting with Ruth is going to absolutely have you manifest your vision, and why not make money while doing it? Okay. Thank you so much, Ruth, for being with us tonight. I know there's a million other things we could have talked about, yet the 3 reasons that you have given us to write our books, right, and to grow our businesses with them is super significant. Next week, good people, next week, Thursday, March 11th at 7:30 Eastern, we will have the copywriter of copywriters, okay? If you don't know Miss Bailey Maldonado, you need to know Miss Bailey Maldonado. She's getting visible on Facebook. She is one of the digital copywriters that I have grown to know and love and appreciate. And I've got a couple more in the wing that you are going to want to meet. Next Thursday, join us live. And for those of you who are women entrepreneurs out there and you are looking for results-driven strategies, you don't want your entrepreneurship to be lonely, join us in my Facebook group, the Facebook group that I host, because it is truly our community, Results-Driven Strategies for Women Entrepreneurs. And we'll make sure that that is in the chat as well. Or you can look up simply Bootstrap Dreams and you'll find it there. Thank you all so much for joining this week. We'll see you same time, same place next week, and we'll keep things moving.